talking today to Helen Jones. Helen is a UK ME therapist, chronic fatigue syndrome. Hi, Helen, how are you?
Hi, Joanne. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Helen, two of the areas that you, or should I maybe call them techniques that you work with, is EFT and matrix reimprinting therapy. Can you tell me a little bit about each of those?
Yes, I can. I'll start with EFT, which stands for the Emotional Freedom Technique. And this was developed by a man in the United States called Gary Craig, who was in fact an engineer, but who came across a system that was called thought field therapy, which had again been developed by another American, Roger Callahan. He found that by tapping on various acupressure points on the body in a certain sequence, he could cure certain conditions. And this is Roger Callahan, he went on to develop different sequences for different conditions. They were called algorithms. So there were many, many algorithms that you applied for, whatever condition you had. He trained Gary Craig, and Gary started to wonder whether he couldn't get some sort of a uniform sequence of working with these acupressure points that might work for all conditions, so that you didn't have to memorize all these different algorithms. So he did. He found something that worked. And that was the beginning of the Emotional Freedom Technique. And this happened, about 20, 25 years ago, something like that he developed this. And it's been spreading ever since. So that's EFT. Matrix reimprinting is newer. It's probably less than about 10 years old. This was developed by an English EFT master called Carl Dawson. And he was doing a training in Australia, and one of the people he was working on, she was working with a memory of a traumatic incident. And she just said to him, you know what, I can see myself in that memory, and I can see myself so clearly that I could go and tap on who I was then. And he thought, okay, righto, why not? Out of that developed a whole system, matrix reimprinting, where you actually go in and you work with the younger you in a particular traumatic memory, listen to what they say, take the stress out of their body, and resolve the particular memory or trauma. So it's very, very powerful.
Isn't transforming a memory the same as denying it ever happened?
No, I think it's actually, that's a really good question. I think it's totally different, actually. If you deny that a memory ever happened, you still haven't got past it. And part of your energy body is still holding on to that. If you transform a memory, then you've resolved it. There's no need to hang on to it anymore. You've kind of untangled that tangle of energy, if you like, smoothed it out, your body relaxes, and you're just no longer caught up by it.
Tell me how you yourself use the EFT and the matrix reimprinting in helping people who come to you who are ME sufferers.
Right. This is such a wonderful tool for helping calm the system down. And you are able to just go in and work with the emotional symptoms, and funnily enough, it works with physical symptoms as well, such as pain. And you can access all the aspects of those symptoms, and you can calm them down so that the body can get into that relaxing state. Also, if you are holding unresolved traumas, for instance, and we go in and we resolve that, just what we talked about in the previous question, again, the system can relax. It's not holding on to that. So it's fantastic for that. It's fantastic also for transforming negative beliefs. And it's fantastic for calming your system down, getting clarity to the brain, because the blood can then flow to the frontal lobes instead of being in the back of the brain, which is what happens when you're in fight or flight, and that's why you have brain fog. So those are the main things that you can work with.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
It's been lovely, Joanne. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
You too.